Hello, bonjour, and tanse everyone, and welcome back to another virtual Sunday school lesson. My name is Pearl, and today we are going to be talking about a man named Samuel. Now, Samuel lived a long time ago, and he helped the people of Israel live in God's way. One day, the people said to Samuel, "We are worried about what might happen to us. Give us a king like the people in the other countries have. We want a king. Please tell us how. Find us a king. We want one now." Now, Samuel was not happy. Samuel prayed to God, and God said, "Listen to the people. They are not angry at you. They don't want to listen to me, so now they don't want to listen to you. Listen to them, and then warn them. Tell them how it will be if the people have a king." So Samuel looked at the people, and Samuel told the people that he had listened to God. Samuel told them that there would be problems if they had a king. But the people didn't listen. "We want a king. Please tell us how. Find us a king. We want one now." "Here's how it will be," said Samuel. "The men will have to fight in the king's armies. The women will have to work for the king. The king will take all of the things that grow in your gardens. You will feel sad then. God doesn't think this is a very good idea." But the people said again, "We want to be like the people in the other countries. We want a king who will look after us and tell us what to do. We want a king. Please tell us how. Find us a king. We want one now." Well, Samuel told God everything that the people had said. And God told Samuel to listen to the people and give them a king. So, the next day, Samuel said to the people, "Come with me. We will choose a king." So the people went with Samuel, and together they chose a man called Saul to be their king. And everyone cheered. There was a big celebration for Saul, their new king. "We have a king. You told us how. You found us a king. We have one now. Woohoo, woohoo, yay for Saul." I liked that story a lot. Did you? What was your favorite part about that story? I think my favorite part was when Samuel asked God what to do, and God told him to listen. Listen to the people. Sometimes the best way to solve a problem is by listening. Listening to God, listening to your parents, maybe listening to your siblings or your teachers. Have you ever had a problem where the best solution was to just listen? Listening is a really good skill. You know, I think that gives me a good idea for a craft. Come on, everyone, let's go to the craft corner. Welcome back, everyone, to the craft corner. So, because we've been talking so much about listening, we today are going to create a pair of ears. That's right, you heard me correctly, ears. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to have a piece of construction paper. Now, this can be any color. You could have blue ears, you could have green ears, you could have brown ears, pink ears. I chose pink. And you're going to take that construction paper and fold it very nicely in half. And once you have that paper folded in half, and it's okay if it's not exact, because we're not going to be using the whole paper. Once you have that paper folded in half, you're going to draw a big ear right near the center of it. So I'm going to do a big ear. Like that. Looks a little bit like a butterfly, but when we add lines to it, just like how an ear is, And those lines look a little bit differently on everyone's, but it'll look something like that, and that looks a little bit like an ear. So now that you have that, you are going to cut it out. I have my lovely pair of scissors here, but there's one catch. When you're cutting it out, I don't want you to come up from the bottom and cut through here. What we're going to do instead is we're going to leave that bit of empty space, this strip of empty space. Don't cut that off. We're going to start here, and we're going to go all the way around the ear. And when we get back over here, remember, we're going to cut straight out from here, just like we did on the other side. So now you have something that should look like this. 2 beautiful ears. And if you'd like, we'll get this paper out of the way. If you'd like, and I'm going to do this, you can recreate this ear on this side. Draw the same lines as you did to make 2 ears. We'll do that now. And it's okay if it doesn't match perfectly, because nobody's ears are perfect. Certainly not these ones. Okay, so now that we have our 2 ears, we're going to separate them. So we're going to cut right where our fold was, which is right about here. Bam, 2 ears. Now, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to decorate the ears a little bit. So you can be a little bit silly. I'm going to be a little bit silly, and I'm going to make maybe some ear hairs coming out of the ears. Just a few hairs, because I like to be a bit silly. And then you can take markers, or if you have little beads or little buttons that you'd like to use, you can make earrings. Anyone can have earrings. I'm going to make a big pair of green earrings just to decorate the ears a little bit, make them a little bit fun and interesting, because these are going to be our special listening ears. So we want them to be fun if we're gonna spend a lot of time listening. Okay, so I have my funky little ear hairs, and then I also have my big green earrings. And the next thing we're going to do is going to involve this sheet of paper. So eventually these ears are going to go on our head, but first we have to make a nice little headband for it. So I actually have 2 pieces of paper here because I have quite a big head. I'm an adult. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces of paper and create a headband. Now you might only need 1 because we're going to cut this in half, hot dog style, and put the 2 pieces together to create a headband, but I'll need 2. So the most important part for you at home is to take your pieces of paper and see, are you going to need 1 piece of paper cut in half? Or are you going to maybe need 3 halves? So 1 piece of paper plus a little bit. I'll need that extra little bit. So we are going to move our ears out of the way for now. We'll just leave them over here. And we're going to take our paper. And like I said, because my head is so big, I am going to take this paper and fold it in half. And then I'm going to cut down the half. Now we have 2 halves, and I'm going to do the same thing with this piece of paper. Now, I'm going to take 1 half and we're going to set it to the side because we don't actually need it. Now we have 1, 2, 3 halves, and that should fit around my head pretty nicely. So with these 3 halves, I'm just going to see how they fit around my head. You want to take them like this, And for you, it might only be 2 halves. And maybe you might need a parent or an older sibling to help you because it's a little hard to hold a lot of piece of papers at once and measure your own head. But we're going to take these and wrap them around the head to see how big my head is. And once I have a little bit of an idea, and I do, we are going to tape or staple these together in a way that fits your head. So now that I know a little bit of how big my head is, we are going to tape these together. You can also staple them together, but I wouldn't recommend gluing them together because glue sometimes wears off, especially if it's around your head. Also, I don't know if you should put glue by your hair. Now, we're going to actually tape both sides of these because otherwise it'll just have this little flappy thing. So I'm taking my tape and I am taping both sides. And you don't need a lot of tape. It doesn't have to go around the whole seam. You just need a little bit like that. So now it can curve around. We're going to do that same thing to the other side. And the reason I'm doing this is just because, again, my head's a little bit big and I need a little extra room. And then you're going to wind it up in a little circle here, a little cylinder, and you're going to take your tape, and this might be a little tough, but you're going to take your tape and you're going to tape it down there. You might need a friend or an adult or someone to help you tape that. So now you should have something that looks a little bit like this, and it should be about the size of your head. Now comes the kind of fun and silly part. Remember the ears we made over here? Well, now those ears are going to come in handy. We're going to take those ears and we're going to make a little cut here. Now we don't want to cut into the ear. We just want to split this empty space we had before in half. So you're going to take that and you're going to fold the top side over and the bottom side under. So now we should have something that looks like that, an ear with 2 little tabs on it. And we're going to do that with both of our ears. Now that we have both ears all tabbed up, we can put them on our little headband. So on either side of your headband, and I'm just folding it in half a little bit to make sure I have exactly half and half, you are going to tape or glue your ears. I am going to tape my ears just because I want them to stick really, really well. But you can glue and you can staple or whatever way you like to attach things. We're going to put our ears on here and we're going to tape those tabs down. So the tabs we just created, those are going to get taped down like that. And if we flip it over, we're going to tape down the back tab too. And now we're going to do that on the exact other side with our other ear. Now, you should have a headband with 2 ears on it, just like that. And I like to keep it like this, but I'm going to show you a way if you want to cover up those tabs so you can't see the little tabs. You can take your trusty paper that we had before. So you're going to take the same color of paper. So you're going to see how big this little tab is, and you're going to cut a rectangle just a little bit bigger than that. So there is my rectangle, and now I'm going to take some tape, and I am going to tape my rectangle over top of my ear tab. And you can tape that down a little bit better, or you can just leave your ear tabs completely free, but we're going to do that to the other side as well. So now, as you can see, we have these little squares that are just hiding our ear tabs. And now, after all of that cutting and taping, we have a lovely and luxurious pair of ears. And you can wear it if you want to listen to your teachers, or if you want to listen to God, or if you want to listen to your friends. Anytime you want to listen. Maybe sometimes you just want to listen to the wind going by your house. You can with your new listening ears. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful, spectacular, fabulous day. And remember, God loves you very much, and you should love yourself too. Bye-bye.